Hey, what is up guys? So I'm going to be showing off the new Pendulum Fairies. Now this was actually a replay from a live stream, but it's a replay file, not the actual live stream one, because we were still wondering how things were working on DevPro. But anyways, that said, there is a new Pendulum card that makes counter fairies actually super viable. So once that card comes out, I'll kind of show you guys the card and we'll talk a little bit more about it, because it is absolutely crazy how good this card is. So it's Ariande the Absolver, or Azneyes. I don't know, they're probably going to change the name to TCG, but anyways, so it has two different effects. The Pendulum effect is that you do not pay life points to activate counter trap cards. You do not discard cards to activate counter trap cards. So there's no real cost to the counter traps anymore. If I had this before Solemn Warning was activated, I would have actually been able to get a free Solemn Warning. I mean, the Solemn Warning, I still had to have the card, but there's no life point cost for it. And then it also has a really insane monster effect. The monster effect is, if this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can reveal 3 counter trap cards from your deck, have your opponent add one of them to your hand, also shuffle the rest back in the deck. So basically, if you're playing 3 copies of a certain card, you just are forced to make your opponent choose that card. So that's really strong. I mean, especially when you're talking about 3 Solemn Notices. He actually Solemn Notices this card over here when he activates this card called Twin Twister, which is another new card that's coming out in the game. Is discard 1 card that target up to 2 spell and trap cards on the field and destroy them. I feel like this is a pretty fair card. It is quick play, so it makes it very viable against Pendulums. But anyways, he's going to actually trigger the effect of the Azneyes over here, and then he's going to try to Solemn Notice my card. But this card doesn't care how it's being destroyed, and I actually didn't know that it worked like this. If you negate this card's effect by destroying it, you still get the search, which is absolutely so unfair. Its monster effect is that now I get to go ahead and search my entire deck for 3 copies of any counter trap, and now I pick 3 of them. Now they could be different ones, but I just picked 3 copies of Solemn Notice, and then therefore he has to give me Solemn Notice. It's a little bit unfair. Then I'm able to also draw some cards off of my other cards, so that's really good. And now we got P.O Duel. Used to be running Vendallion. Now this card over here, the Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer, absolutely unfair. When you combine it with that Pendulum Azneyes over there, you get to destroy it, search, and then you just summon another one. So this is more so a video example of the fairies over here. Now he activates Pinpoint Guard, so he's going to keep this thing alive over there. Unfortunately, cannot negate it with Notice because it's only going to be stopping inherent summons. But this card is still good. Plus it negates effects, so he can't really make any plays anyways, because if he activates any effect, he knows that I have this card. There's not really a position that he can win from at this point. And you see, he bottomless my other guy, and then what I did with that is just okay, search. And so he's going to activate Mathematician's Effect. On Divine Wrath, don't even have to discard, then draw 2? What? It's absolutely unfair. But, newer archetypes do have that ability to be very strong, and then I go ahead and just go ahead and make a game here. But that's just one real quick replay. I got another one that I want to share with you guys real quick. And this one is going to be facing off against Cosmos over here. Now, Cosmos, I feel like they have a good matchup against just so many things, because that new card, it's so frustrating to deal with. But anyways, we go in Chicken Race, Pseudo Space. This deck right now has consistency issues. Okay, so here's the effect that's amazing. So Luster, the Pendulum, the Draco Slayer, you destroy this, then you get to search your deck for any of the cards that you want, and I obviously choose, usually I go for Divine Wrath or Solemn Notice, but I like to be able to get rid of this card through Divine Wrath first, because I want to go through these first, and then therefore I can get my Solemn Notices out later, because Solemn Notice is good at all times, where Divine Wrath is only good pretty much when you have the Azneyes the Absolver out, pretty much, because you don't have to pay that cost. I mean, the life point for Notice isn't that big of a deal. It's more so the discard of Divine Wrath that I don't like, but it's still a very strong effect. But anyways, go ahead and set that Honest, because Honest has that big 1900 defense, so he takes 100 for that. He activates that effect. We're gonna go ahead and Divine Wrath, and that's negated. And then we're gonna go ahead and try to summon Vendallion. He then chains Wicked Witch. Wicked Witch is gonna get out the Dark Destroy, which I actually can't deal with. Now, Vendallion's a really interesting card in this deck. Now, Vendallion has amazing effects if you can pull it off. So, after a counter trap card you control negates the activation of opponent's monster, cards, or effects, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you get to activate the appropriate effect based on the type of cards negated. So, if you negate a spell, you get to inflict 1500 burn damage. If you get to negate a trap, you get to select and destroy 1 card our opponent controls. And then if it's an effect monster, you get to select 1 monster in your graveyard and special summon it. That's amazing. I think that is so cool, but, I mean, he's just going to destroy with Dark Destroy. And I don't really know how this deck can deal with this. You'll see that. I try to deal with it. But anyways, we go ahead and get free cards. Like, the amount of solemn notices that we can get are absolutely crazy. But we go ahead and summon this. He activates a warning. And then we're going to trigger both those effects. It doesn't matter how these are destroyed. But unfortunately, since we don't have a monster, we can't really deal with this card right now. I wish I just had like something that could proc this card's effect. Grand Mole. He activates the limiter rule. I chain Magic Jammer. He's like, what the heck, dude? I mean, who would have expected that? Like the Magic Jammer. But like Magic Jammer is actually pretty good now with this card. So he activates Maxi. I Divine Wrath at Maxi. No draw power for him. And I'm gonna go ahead and summon Double Summer Monk. I'm gonna go into Crazy Box, see what we can get. I didn't get lucky with Crazy Box. I rolled a 6, outplayed, outskilled, destroyed this itself, and then I had Solemn Warning, Solemn Notice, Divine Wrath. Like, there's a lot of good back row, and all these cards would have been free too, because I have this card here, so I wouldn't have to pay any life points, and that's amazing. But unfortunately, I feel like a lot of decks will just simply lose to this card. Like Mermail is like, it's so hard to deal with this card. You have to just like Diamond Crab Key. Like, it's just, this card is really tough to deal with for a lot of decks, and it can be summoned so easily. But yeah, you can see the advantage you can get in the deck. Like, even though I lost in the second duel, you can just see how much advantage I was generating. It's crazy what you can get in this deck. Like I said, the deck has consistency issues now because this is the only fairy pendulum that we have. But in the future, if we get some more support, I really see this deck being absolutely a horrible thing to. If you're facing against this deck and it opens up well, you just can't play Yu-Gi-Oh, man. You just lost the game, Kappa. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. It's been your boy Will Smith, signing out.